I want to introduce my good friend, Julie. You guys, we just got back from Fiji together. We had the best time hanging out with her and her amazing husband, Chuck. And I am going to give you her bio, but I will tell you, one of the things that I love about Julie is she's so fun, but she's just real and raw. Like, she says it as it is. She calls a spade a spade. She's not the fluff, rah jazz person. She's down and dirty. She knows how to win. She understands strategy, and there's no one better than to really teach you guys about this pool. She's an 8-star platinum, so she's maxed out the compensation plan and a legacy club member. For those of you that don't know, she's an Isagenix millionaire. She's built a massive, massive team over the last 10 years that she's been in Isagenix. And she was on the field advisory board in 2022. And she is again as a field advisory board in 2023. So for those of you that got on the All Associates call and know there was this beautiful group of humans that put this promotion together, she is absolutely one of the people that pioneered that understands this, that came up with these incredible tracking tools. So it's going to be fabulous, fabulous to learn from her. But she's a former collegiate athlete and coach. She's a mom of 4 boys. She's married to her lifelong sweetheart. But you guys, when I tell you that Julie's competitive, that's an understatement. I had so much fun, hearing this story about how she was going to be a part of the first women's national, championship team. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so when you pay attention to this woman, or when you hear this woman talk, I want you to pay attention, because if you even want a tip of your 10K pool, right? Even just a little bit, you want a sliver, you want a couple $100, you want $1,000. There is no one better in this company right now to tell you exactly what to do and how to go. So Julie, I'm going to turn it over to you, babe. If you want to maybe just tell your story a little bit, if you want to just give them a background on the pool, and then basically just the ins and outs, because I know Jess and I are not the only ones right now getting a ton of questions on what points count, when it starts, how to track. And we just want to see our teams, of course, with yours, all on the leaderboard reports, tapping into this pool. So thank you so much for being here tonight.
Oh my gosh, such an amazing welcome, you guys. And talk about a rock star team. Can I just give you all a shout out for not only just being on this call, but I see your names. I know who you are. We see your names in the top of the leaderboards, and just well done. Well done. I mean, it's so fun to see all of Isagenix, or parts of Isagenix, in momentum, right? I mean, we have this incredible company, and we are just getting started. I know when I started almost 11 years ago, I was working, I had 4 kids at home who were all athletes. 2 of them were being recruited for the next level to play in college for their sport. I was busy. I was a busy, stressed out mama, and I desperately needed good nutrition on the go. I was told 3 years before I started Isagenix that I had to go gluten-free. And that was 15 years ago, you guys, and nothing was available at that point. And then I realized that dairy was an issue too. So a mom of 4 kids, always in my car, the minute I got home from work, in a job I really loved in the health and wellness space, but I was in my car, and going gluten-free at that point in my life was tricky. So we kind of looked at Isagenix for the nutrition, not only for me personally to have that good gluten-free meal I could trust on the go in the car, but also for our sons who are athletes. Their coaches wanted them to gain some lean muscle mass. And that was before the AMP line, but they just wanted to have meat put on them and muscle put on them. And we did that through Isagenix before they went off to play in college. So, but the funny thing is, and some of you have heard this and some of you haven't, but I was not at all interested in the business. I had a great job. I loved what I did. I was in the health and fitness and wellness space. I was doing coaching and training on the side. I had a little side fitness business. I was coaching some soccer players on the side. I coached at the college level, Olympic development level, but I was just doing one-on-one coaching. So I had a very busy life. But my husband, who is a CFO in corporate America, got on the phone with Lynn Klaus. She explained the compensation. This is before FaceTime and before, Zooms. And she explained it. He drew it out. And while I was sleeping, he enrolled us into Isagenix. So I want you to know that, first of all, that this compensation plan is so strong that my husband, who's a CFO in corporate America, does numbers all day. He saw it. and he decided that it would be a good fit for me. So when I woke up in the morning, I was in Isogenics and I kind of hit the ground running, and Chuck still is doing his thing at work. But of course, he talks to me a lot about, like, we discuss strategy all the time. I'm a very strategic person, and that's why I love Leader in Action. You guys have heard me train on Leader in Action so many times. It has flaws, the Leader in Action formula, but the great thing about Leader in Action is it makes you focus on the right behavior, which is personally enrolling, getting your people to enroll, helping someone get to something, right? Help them make money, get paid, get your people paid, as Lynn Klaus has drilled into my head, and then maintaining your current rank as executive. So I don't know, there are a lot of people on this call. I'm not sure how many of you are paid as executive, but that's a really good goal for you if you're not. Get to paid as executive and stay there. Figure it out. That should be your number one goal every month, is get to executive and stay at executive, because that matters. There's a lot that goes into that. It took me 2.5 years to get there, you guys. That's why I can honestly say to you, if you're not paid as executive right now, get your butt there. Because let me share this quick story before I jump into the relay. Lynn Klaus called me and said, Julie, you're almost a 3-star director. You need to get to executive. And that was well before we had, the only thing we had was executive match. That was well before the pools and well before the executive lifestyle bonus. But she's like, what are you doing? You're like cycling almost 40 times a week as a director. Get your butt to executive. And I said, you know, I really wish I could figure out how much money I was leaving on the table, because I'm competitive, as Lauren said, right? And that would kind of push me a little bit, I think. And so she did. She figured it out for me with the help of corporate. And you guys, in the 4 months, just in 4 months, we didn't look at anything else, just the last 4 months prior to this conversation, they pulled it up. And I had left $14,000 on the table over those 4 months. That's ridiculous. Like, and that was before all of the other stuff came. So when I talk about getting to executive and staying at executive, I mean it. And I learned the hard way. And it wasn't about the money. It was about doing my best. And I've talked about that before, but just make sure that you understand the compensation plan enough to do your best, and don't leave money on the table, right? So let's talk about this executive, or not executive, this relay that we have going on. So we were tasked as a Fab 2023 to come up with something that was going to drive business through the summer. And we had all these ideas, and we met with the ELT, the executive leadership team, and we talked about these ideas. And then I was going to Nashville. I was meeting Sweet Ann White and Holly Kirsch in Nashville for our training, right? And we kind of gave them ideas, and then they were going to kind of work on it throughout the week. And I was like, I feel really good about these ideas to drive business. And then I drove to Nashville, and I forgot my luggage. So I had no clothing. So I had to go shopping. I totally put that on the back burner. I was focused on the Super Saturday that I was, running, and focused on getting some clothes to wear to the actual event. And then Jason West came up with this brilliant idea of this plan that has now, we tweaked, we worked on, and it just a shout out to the Fab, because I know Erica's on here. We spend a lot of time on the field advisory board working for you guys. So make sure you thank Erica, or anybody else that has ever served on the Fab, or anybody that will serve on the Fab. It's a big deal, because we spend a lot of time and take away time from our personal business to bring amazing things to you guys, which is what this is. And then Lauren, can I share my screen real quick? Got it? Okay, perfect. I'm just going to share a couple of pictures, you guys, because this is something that I just want you to grasp. Now, some of this may make sense to you, some of it may not. But one of the first things I did was said to myself, okay, we know what the deal is with this, right? if I could get one person to get to executive, I could earn some points. And this is an illustration, and it's super messy, I know, but I just kind of want to go through this with you. And you may have seen this already, but let's just say you have a girl named Susie and she goes executive. So we only need 6 enrollments, but Susie enrolls 10 people, right? And those 10 people get to consultant. So Susie's going exec. She gets to consultant, or she gets them to consultant, 10 people, and that's 20 points there. You can maximize that at 15, right? But in that 2 PET, you want to get as many enrollments as you can there. And in this case, she got 20. But remember, if you get 15 in the 2 PET, you get 30 points. So you really want to try to work on your personally enrolled from December 26th on, enrolling. Let's say they did it in January. You enrolled someone in January, but she doesn't start enrolling until March 27th. Then that counts for your 2 PET. So let's say you get 30 there, right? So Susie's gotten 30 points there. And let's just say a few of those people enroll people, right? So that would be your 3 PET. So that's where you had 8 here. You multiply that times 3 PET, and that's where that 24 comes in. So Susie goes executive and she gets 54 points. Okay. And I know this is confusing. I can send this to you later. I'm sure you've already drawn it out because I know your team and you probably have this all figured out. But look at what Susie can earn. She goes Crystal Manager, gets the $250 Crystal Manager bonus. Crystal Director, she gets the $750. Crystal Exec, $1,000. And because she's promoted 10 consultants, she's got $1,000 because you get $100 for every consultant that you promote. Look at Susie. She's earned $3,000. And even if she just earns a little bit in the pool, in the relay, I mean, she's earned $3,000. She gets to executive and she gets to do all the other things that executives get, like the executive match and the lifestyle bonus, things like that. That's pretty awesome. And then she has the ability to earn 10 grand in this pool. It's so brilliant. I love that they brought us or gave us the coupons. How many of you, put a 1 in the chat if you are crushing it with the coupons? Put a 1 in the chat. And let me tell you what I did, because we have all 4 of our sons enrolled and our daughter-in-law and our son's girlfriends are all enrolled. So I sent them a message and I said, you guys, if you're not using your codes, you're crazy, number 1. But also, and this is insider information, you can actually share those codes with other people. Okay. Now don't post this anywhere, but you can use your husband's codes if you want and put them direct to you. Remember, don't share this anywhere because I might get in trouble. But let's talk about this too. What if you had one person, and this is just that same example, one person, this is a different drawing of it, who goes exec, who possibly has one of those people who goes consultant and then becomes a manager. Look at all the points you're going to get there. 96 points. If you can build that depth. Remember, you max out the points at 30 in your 2 PET. And then you have to make up those points to get to 50 in your 3 PET and 4 PET. So that's really, really important. You can't build them all up here. You can only get 30 points there. The rest of them you're going to have to get in your 3 and 4 PET. All right. Are we good so far? This is something I love doing, you guys. And this is probably super confusing to you, but I'm going to explain why I do this. I went to this person, and we'll just call him Alex, right? So I go to Alex, who's a consultant, and I say, Alex, if you can start building in your organization, you can earn points to earn money in this $1 million pool. So I take their screenshot, take a screenshot of them in your organization. Now, this would be someone you have enrolled between December 26th and right now. So it could be any of these people, but kind of take a screenshot and then kind of draw it out. And this is a quick thing I did this afternoon, but you can draw it out for people so it makes a little more sense, right? So in this situation, we've got Alex, who has enrolled B and C, okay? And let's say B decides they're gonna enroll a person or two people, and they get to consultant. So B goes consultant. And then C is just a customer. They're just ordering, whatever. But D goes consultant. They have their 2. Okay. So right there, you've already got your 6 because Alex has enrolled B, C, D, E, F, G. Alex has enrolled those 6 people. And then Alex goes manager. So that's when he starts to build the depth, the 2, 3, and 4 PET points that you need to make some money. So don't be afraid. Again, I do this all the time, you guys. If I have a consultant that maybe fell back from consultant, but is always active, and let's say she builds personal holding volume and she's got 3,000 in personal holding volume and business or sales volume on the left, maybe nothing on the right. Remember that personal holding volume slides over to the minor leg, and that person could cycle 10 times. Drawing on this, although it's a hot mess, it makes it seem real to people. So a lot of times I'll show this, and then I'll show parts of the big picture video. I do screenshots of that, and then I have them watch it, and then we go back to this. But this is something that you can be doing now. This is income producing activity, in my opinion, because again, people are seeing, and I don't cross out the names for people when I'm drawing this. They'll see names and they're like, well, who's Susie? Who's this person? Who's this person? And then we have that discussion about how people above them and below them are also enrolling people. So make sure you use that to your advantage. And then you can put the information in this. I'm a big tracker. I have my LIA form in front of me all the time on paper. I have my relay form in front of me all the time on paper. I take it with me wherever I go. This thing went to Fiji. It's all torn up, but I had it with me because I really wanted to be able to track it while I was in Fiji. It goes everywhere. It's on my desk in front of me at all times so that I can keep track physically. Now, I messaged our ELT group and found out that the reports should be up and available for us on May the 10th. So 2 days, don't hold me to that. I'm hoping it's there, but I still recommend tracking it physically on paper because then you always know where you are. And if you have that thing in front of you, it's like my game plan. When I was a coach, I had my paper in front of me. I'm old school so that I could scratch out a player's name and add a new player if we had an injury or whatever. I knew what our game plan was going into each game. And that's exactly why I track it on paper still, because you need to know who you're promoting. You need to help your team too. I'll say one last thing about this. I not only looked at what I was going to be doing, who I'm going to enroll, and who I'm going to focus on to get to exec because I want those points or to the next level, but I'm also looking at people on my team, and I won't get any points for them. A good leader, I'm not as much concerned with me earning in the pool as I am my team, because I want my team to win, you guys. And a good leader will do that. They're not just going to look at, oh, I need 6 enrollments. I need 2 PET, 3 PET, and 4 PET for me personally. I mean, I think it's great that we are doing the do, because as a leader, you need to do the do and show your team that you're working on it. That's why I always earn top achievers and all the other trips. But you also need to look at people on your team where you won't benefit, but they will. Teach your team to win, and then they will. And ultimately you win. I think I'm done.
Okay, you're awesome. I love how you're tracking everything. You guys, I don't know if you saw me like wave those up, and I know Jessica's the exact same thing. Like this was it. Like it goes with, and it just helps you do it. And I've been telling some of my girls that I know are going for Crystal Executive and Crystal Director who are coming out of the gates hot. But I'm like, you've got to be on top of this weekly because it's going to be way too hard to try to go back and figure out, you know, what's happening. But with that, like there's questions. And so I know people are like, okay, what date does it start or what counts and understanding the minimums. And I hope that I've got this right, but I'm going to just kind of tee this up as a way to open up the questions, because if this is your time that you need to have some questions clarified on either where do you find out where your second PET enrollments are or how many points or what do you need, like we want you to take advantage of this. But for your first PET, that means people you directly enrolled, you need a minimum of 6. So to be eligible, you have to enroll 6 people between, you know, the March and June dates, or they're letting you backdate, you know, before that to December because of the last day of the promotion at the beginning of the year and the first day of our calendar year. But remember, whether you enroll 6 people or 20 people or 40 people in this contest period, you don't actually get points for those enrollments. So people think that you get like 1 point. You have to have 6 to qualify, but there's no points there, right? So you actually don't start earning points until your second PET, right? Then you can only get 15 second PET enrollments. It caps at 30. So a lot of people are masters at creating consultants, right? We just heard Ann White went Crystal Executive again. Holly Kirsch just went Crystal Executive again. You know, we just had Emily Sutherland go Crystal Director again. I mean, some of these amazing leaders who are already paid as executive, they don't want you just capitalizing on creating a lot of consultants where we're great at doing that. We want to have more depth. So even if you have 40 or 50 or 60 second PET enrollments in the contest period, it caps at 30. So you have to get points in level 3 and level 4, even though there's no minimum, in order to hit the 50, right? It's impossible to get there. So whether you then have a bunch of enrollments just in level 3, or you've got 1 in level 3 and more in level 4, there's no minimums there, but you cannot get to 50 if you don't cap into that category. Okay. So then I know that there's been some confusion on like, okay, so I enrolled this person before this date, you know what I mean? When they start enrolling, does it count for my second PET or my third PET? It will count for your 1 of your 6. Remember, there's no points there, but that's it. In terms of new lines, right? When we think about like new generational growth in your business, new people driving the line, that is all from that March 26th date. So when someone's like, okay, I enrolled Emily Pierce on February 11th, awesome. 1 of your 6, no points, keep going, right? But if Emily has enrolled people in, let's say, April, and I'm like, oh, that's a new enrollment, it's not a new line in your business, right? Technically, she was there beforehand. So to minimize the confusion, right, you've just got to be looking at things basically after March 26th. But hopefully that helps a little bit. But that was me trying to, literally, Julie, we got to Fiji. I don't even think I'd been like on the property for like an hour. And I was like, help me. I'm like, I don't get it. You know, we sat there and I was like, you have to be on our team call. I was like messaging Shruti from the pool side to be like, get her on our next available spot, because if I'm confused, other people are confused. So thank you so much. But with that being said, you guys, this is your time to ask questions. So either type it in the chat or unmute and like anything that's confused, because on our power hour activities today, I said, I need you to update your $1 million tracker and send it to me. And I got none of them. And I was like, where are your trackers? And every single person was like, I don't know how to do it. And I was like, okay, make sure you get on the call. We went through it. I sent the recording, but this is your time. So anywhere that you're unsure and unclear, please type in the chat or please unmute and ask your questions right now. There's not a stupid one. If you guys could see the questions that I've asked Julie and Mike, you would be like, okay, if Lauren Sims is not getting this, you know, like I promise you, we are all in the same boat trying to figure this out. We want you to win. We want all of you guys to win. I want to like Jess always says, have laryngitis, going through that report, listing everybody's name who's like earning points and getting close to their 50 the next time we do recognition. So we should have that report. So what questions do you guys have?
Lauren, I have a question. So,
hey, Holly, thank you for being brave.
Well, you just said the March 26th date versus the December 26th date of something qualifying. So I need to, if you could repeat that again.
What are you clarifying? And then
so you get, I know the 6 enrollments, but if somebody had enrolled with any of us after December 26th and they start building deep, we get to count those points, I thought.
As long as they are after, they start building after March 27th is actually the date. So if you enrolled Tina on January 1st, right? Tina does nothing, or even if she does a ton, nothing of hers counts until she does something on March 27th until now, until June 25th. So let's say Tina got to director, but she never got to executive. You could reach out to Tina and say, listen, girl, we're getting you to executive. And starting March 27th, when she starts enrolling, those start counting for you, for your 3 and 4.
I didn't know where that division of the date was. So that makes sense, but you can count them, but you just can't count their new enrollments until after the 27th of March.
Exactly. And you can't count them as one of your 6. Remember that. That's important.
Yeah.
And guys, I mean, we're given as paid as executives, another reason to be there. We're given corporate enrollments. Now those do not count. So just keep that in mind. Even if they're over 100 BV and they're on subscription, they don't count as one of your 6. So just keep that in mind. And also I clarified this too. If I get a corporate enrollment for 120 BV and they're on subscription, they don't count. Let's say I did it today, they don't count. And if they start enrolling, if I start promoting them and whatever, it's not going to count for this. It will count for LIA, the bonus pools, so executive bonus pools. So just because you get an enrollment that may not count for the relay, it still might count for LIA. You guys, this is a chance for us to like double dip. Are you kidding me? You got to realize that this is a chance for you to double dip. And I'm sure you know that, but just in case, double dip.
I have another question. So let's say that I had made a consultant after January or December 26th, and then they lost one of their people. So they're not active, but one of their people under them keeps enrolling. Do you get to count them even though it's broken in the stream of the... Jessica saying yes.
Yes, you do. Yes,
yes.
You do.
Okay. I just, because I have one of that, a non-active consultant, but somebody under her is building. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Julie, depth is depth, right?
Depth is depth. As long as it happened after March 27th, if she starts enrolling and building, yes.
Hey, Julie, I want to add on a quick. Oh, good. Laura, sorry.
No, what Holly was saying, I just want to clarify this because I have now had 2 people just message me because I know people are shy in the call, right? So I enroll Holly February 1, right? So it's before the March date, but we're in that exception that we know it counts as one of my 1 PET, okay? So then let's say Holly enrolled Erica February 15th or something, right? Because Erica was enrolled before the March date, anything Erica does not count because it was before March. However, let's say Holly enrolled Frank the Powerhouse on April 1st because he is a new line in terms of like where she qualified for the time period and then he was enrolled after the March 27th date, everything he does counts. Is that correct? She might be frozen.
Me?
Yeah, sorry.
No, I think so. I have to write things like I'm a visual learner, you guys. So like I would have to draw that out, but yes, I think you're correct.
Can I say
Does that
something?
make sense, Jess?
Can you guys hear me, Michelle?
Yeah.
Michelle.
Okay, so I thought, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think Lauren, what you said was, if you got them February 1st, you signed them up, they count as your 1 PET, but they don't count as one of your 6 PET. But anything new they do after March 27th counts as your 2 PET.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I think.
Yes.
That's why I'm happy to have the reports. When the reports come out, it's going to be nice.
It is. And you guys, let me just say this, because I had people screaming at me, like sending me messages from all over the country and world. Like, why aren't the reports? We should never do this without the reports. Let me just give you a backstory. They gave us 2 days to come up with a plan. We came up with a plan and had to tweak it. We spent 14 hours on Zooms with the FAB and the ELT trying to figure this out. Well, either us or them combined. They told us that we were not going to have the reports, but they would go ahead and start it and date it back and all of the things. And we said, we're fine. And then people yelled at us. So I just want you guys to be patient. They're coming. But the reason that we kind of started without the reports was so that we could have momentum going into the summer. So that's why we don't have the reports yet, but you know, they're coming and it'll be much easier. And the other thing is, like, we want this to be as simple as possible. One thing I'm super like boisterous about on the FAB, and Erica could attest to this, is keep it simple, stupid. Like I think of the mama with the baby on her hip with, you know, 2 toddlers running around who are trying to do this business. And then I have people on my team who work full time and who are trying to do this business. So I always want to keep that person in mind, and we all need to keep that person in mind. That's why, you know, really setting this up and teeing this up for your team and telling them exactly what they need is the way to go, because busy people, they don't have time to fool with this and figure all of this out. We've got to be there as leaders to help them.
And this might be not public, but I'm just thinking, I'm hoping that this is a transition. Like you said, we can double dip. And after this pool is over, do you visualize like an LIA sheet that's going for PET, but it doesn't really matter on the dates? It'll just be like is that something they're talking about?
Yeah, so that's going to be coming out soon. We're working hard with them on that. And again, my whole thing is keep it simple. We've got a mama with a baby on her hip with 2 toddlers running around. She needs to be able to understand this and do this business. So what's coming, I think, is really good. It's strong, it's fair, and you guys will hear about it pretty soon.
Hi, awesome. I have a question. My name is Michelle Radice, and I'm currently packing to go to travel to a work trip. So sorry if you see me walking around everywhere, but I just kind of joined. And Janelle and Jessica have been fantastic and incredible in helping me. I am super confident in everything technology, but this stuff just has me, I'm like completely stumped. Do you have any tips or recommendations? I have like a social media following and stuff like that. I'm just not confident in kind of reaching out to people. So just wanted to hear what you guys have to say.
I'll jump in here and say, Michelle, don't worry about figuring it all out. It took me 6 months before I could explain the compensation plan. I'm not a numbers person. Just do it. Be ignorance on fire. Like, don't worry about figuring out all the details. Share what you love about the product. Share what you love about, you know, the community. You have an amazing team. You guys are like my favorite other team besides our team. I mean, you guys are incredible, and just lean on the people that are above you to help you, because they will. They want to see you win, Michelle. So just go out and share what you love, and don't worry about the details. I mean, I didn't even know how to put somebody in the system for 6 months. My husband did it. And he's got a full-time job. I was like, I don't even know how to enroll anybody. I was like, left, right, I don't know what that means, but just here's a person. They want to buy the 30-day system, and here's a person. I didn't know what I was doing, and it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, Michelle,
great. Well, thank you. I appreciate it
too. I mean, all of our calls are recorded, and you know, it's in like my team page, Jessica's team page. There's playback. Jessica did a call about, you know, PVC and like, you know, using the language and using the system, that it's short and it's spot on, and just how you get people excited, what you say, how you do the, you know, group message. And both of our team pages have a ton of scripts, the different things there that we can help with. But just to piggyback on what Julie said, and you guys, this is a great question. It's off topic. And Julie, thanks for answering that. Michelle, thanks for your bravery to ask, because I know these calls can be intimidating, and we're bringing on so many new people that some of us have been here 10 years and some of you guys have been here less than 10 days. And we honor that, you know, and want to make sure that you're supported on this. But if you weren't making money from the company, right? If they were not going to pay you, You were not going to earn a 20% commission. You could not earn a rank advancement bonus, right? If someone was not going to have the ability to say no to you, put that hat on and talk to them, because we refer things we like to people we love all day long. Like I watch it happen. And I sit with some of my builders. I'm like, did you hear that? She just went and got a restaurant reservation because someone told her to do it, right? This woman just booked a massage. Like I was sitting at a coffee shop not too long ago and I legit liked this woman's bag. I was like, that would be a like cute diaper bag, you know? But I was like, I love your bag. And she's like, oh my gosh, it's from Abercrombie, blah, blah, blah. She's like sending me the link like faster than I like could even get the information. And we suddenly, because we can make money with this, like you hear someone say like, oh, my skin is so dry. And all you can think about is the collagen. And you're like, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't sound like Jessica Rigner and nothing comes out. And your story is so powerful. Like just come from the heart and be unattached to the outcome that they could say no, and unattached to the outcome that you're going to make money with this company. And just lose yourself in the idea that you have something so special that you can give away, both on the product side and the business side, you know? And that is the biggest like mindset, that then you worry less about perfection and you lose yourself in the service. And I have something that I can help you, and just stay focused on like what the products can do for them, because you can see their life through rose-colored glasses. You can already see the best version of them that they can't see yet. And just be obsessed with the fact that you can help them make money. They can have more time freedom. They get to hang out with cool, badass girls like all of us, right? Like see that for them and come from that place. And it's so much less about what you're saying.
I love it. Awesome. No, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
All right, you guys, put your favorite emoji, your favorite number, give Juli some love, blow it up. Thank you so much, Juli. You guys send her some voice memos tonight on her DM. Just tell her how freaking awesome she is. Make sure you stalk her out in Orlando. You give her a great big hug. Thank you. You guys are awesome. We'll see you in a week. Have a good night. Bye, guys.